prime time on the top game, it's a fine line. Man in the match, that's Daveye, he's the main guy, keep it close eye. Make sure you don't make no wrong play, cause I'm with Jose and Andre. When Cyrus comes to walk in, you better know that you are watching Premier League. Daveye, tell what time we on, prime time. Let me hear you say Premier League. Daveye, tell what time we on, prime time.
Hello and welcome to Premier League Primetime. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 3, and of course I'm joined by this man who's been waiting to cook me. I'm waiting for this grilling. Joined by Kenneth. Very happy man, I'd assume.
Oh yeah, I think happiness is an understatement. I would say so.
Just starting off with general thoughts on the match from either from a neutral perspective or from a Liverpool perspective, if you want to just start the grilling now.
Yeah, I guess I'll start the grilling now. I'll turn up the heat right now. So coming from a neutral standpoint, looking at it unbiased, someone that's not a supporter of Manchester United or Liverpool, I think this was always a one-sided game. I think this was, if you were to tell somebody that this has been a historic rivalry, I don't really think they would believe you based on this performance and based within the past 5 Premier League games where Liverpool has kind of embarrassed, I'd say, Manchester United. And I think just from a neutral standpoint, this must have been like one of the most exciting things because, you have two bald Dutch managers going at it. I don't think that's ever been done. So I think from a neutral standpoint, it was just a one-sided game. And I think it was just beautiful, beautiful football by Liverpool. Sure, there were some individual errors from the Manchester United side, but it was just harmonious football from Liverpool. And
yeah, good. Oh, carry on.
Oh, I was going to reiterate what I said. This wasn't a rivalry.
No, as I don't know what the exact stat is, but I think Liverpool are like 26-3 or 4, something like that, in the last how many matches that we played. So it's definitely
I think it's 20-64, something like that.
It's definitely quite one-sided. And from a Liverpool perspective, overall general thoughts on the match before we get into the more specifics.
Excitement. I think I would say, I could say I'm happy, but this is only the third game that's happened in this season, and just starting it off with a banger against Manchester United, and I'm very excited to see that Liverpool still really hasn't lost that attacking, that aggressive football. It's just a little bit more harmonious in a way under the new manager. It seems that regardless of what manager it is, Manchester United cannot contain us. So I'm very excited to see what Slot has demonstrated already and will continue to demonstrate as we go up against bigger clubs.
Yeah, and as we've seen in this Arne Slot style of play, something a little less chaotic. It's a little more possession and build up. We've seen some notable inclusions and exclusions. Specifically starting with the man on the bottom right-hand part of your screen, I think Ryan Gravenberch is someone to definitely talk about.
Absolutely. Should we get into it now? The Gravenberch, or?
Go for it. Start your cooking, dude. Whatever you need to do, remember.
Gravenberch. He was a decent player last season, but in the positions he played in the midfield, he never really seemed comfortable in what he was doing. So to see Arne Slot put him in as that number 6 position, I was curious. I was curious to see what would occur, and my curiosity did not kill me. This time, I saw Gravenberch make some phenomenal plays. I think the biggest takeaway I have from Ryan Gravenberch, it wasn't his passing. It wasn't his passing. It wasn't his dribbling. It was his awareness. Several times throughout the match, you saw Ryan Gravenberch. I mean, first off, that interception he had with Casemiro. The way Arne Slot plays is that he makes the way he presses the midfield is like an overload. If you I'm sure you've noticed that it's like an overload where you have several men covering one thing. And I think Gravenberch, working as a 6, he's also extremely aware of where it was going. So when he saw Casemiro make that pass to Dalot, I think it was to Dalot, I believe. Gravenberch immediately intercepted it and he started counterattacking. But the thing about Gravenberch, he never really stopped to pass the ball. He kept driving forward. And I guess that was indicative of telling the other players it's time for a counterattack. And it was 5 versus 4. You saw 5 wide jerseys against 4. Red Devil jerseys, and Gravenberch just like he had so many options and he found the correct one, passing it to Salah. And we kind of saw this sort of theme throughout the entire game where Gravenberch was still playing that 6 really beautifully and just like really controlling that midfield, really keeping possession, really seeking out these passes. Like working as a 6, he has like the ability of passing it to Lucho, to Salah, or just continue pressing it forward through Maka and Soboslai, who was playing more of a CAM role. So Ryan Gravenberch had an absolute phenomenal game. It's the thing about this too. It's like I can't even call him the unanimous man of the match simply because there were so many stars on the pitch. But I think Ryan Gravenberch was the most noticeable one of the game, and I think he is someone that the entire Premier League should watch as the season progresses.
No, I think the change of system definitely helps him. As I definitely mentioned to you last year that this is a guy that he's a baller. This is a player that isn't suited for chaotic football. That's not his game. He's an on the ball player, and as we saw from the match, he completely and utterly dominated not only Casemiro but Kobbie Mainoo just got destroyed by Gravenberch. Both of them were literally just left to die by themselves. But Gravenberch was an absolute, for me, the best player throughout the entirety of the match, genuinely. But apart from that, where in your opinion do you think it was just a complete mismatch?
Are you saying between Gravenberch against Casemiro and Mainoo, or are you talking about the entire general theme of the game?
I'm just entirely and in general, and we can start from the managerial standpoint of view, if you'd like.
We could start at that too. Okay, we could start off with Arne Slot. It's different from Klopp, without a doubt. Klopp was a master of chaos, I'd say. He was chaotic, but obviously with chaos came a lot of repercussions, including leaving the back line exposed, including the midfield being scrambled around, and just like with having Robo and Trent pushing up as wingbacks, like those like flanks were really left exposed. But with Arne now, the moment we get the ball, it's not an immediate it's not an immediate cross or just get it as soon as or get it to the forwards as soon as possible. It's a slow possession buildup, which allows the back line to push a little bit more and really allows us to actually see the pass instead of playing this chaotic football. It's still an aggressive football, it's still an attacking form of football, but it's a little bit more chaotic. It's more harmless. You see the buildup going on, and you see a little bit more involvement of the center backs, and sometimes you even saw the wing backs even go inverted as well. It was a very good buildup throughout the entire time, and the way Arne's the tactic that really shined out for me with Arne Slot. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you noticed it. It's a lot of passing, because there was this one moment where it's trending around, it's an angle where it appears that Salah, Sobel, Ryan, and one more of our midfielders, they were just toying around, just playing tiki-taka football for 15 seconds. Tiki-taka, that only belongs to one ball manager, and that's to Pep. So to see someone else employ that possession-based football, wherever on the pitch, it was beautiful. Under Klopp, it was just immediate push up the ball, press, and pray to God that they don't counterattack. Versus this, it's we want them to counterattack, because the thing is they can't really do it. As you saw, the midfield dominated. Liverpool absolutely controlled that midfield, without a doubt. And to keep that, and obviously, the most important part of any game, of any team, is the midfield. So to have someone actually emphasize that and actually employ those tactics, it was art. It was beautiful.
And another player that you've been wanting to tell me about for ages, Luis Diaz. Talk to me, bro.
This is a topic that you and I shared in common. Last year you and I weren't the biggest Diaz fan, but I always believed in my Luis Diaz. He was extremely inconsistent, but the one thing that was always consistent with him was the ability to keep that ball, the ability to keep that possession, the ability to hold possession. But now under the new Arne Slot tactics, where he's able to make runs and actually cut in through the midfield, because I said, with Soba was playing as a CAM at times, you saw McAllister push up. It was a lot more harmless from Luis Diaz, and I don't know what it was. I don't know what they put in his water, but his finishing has become absolutely clinical. His finishing, I don't know if you saw the goal against Brentford last week with the counterattack. He smashed that ball into the top left, something he couldn't do last season under Klopp. It seems like Diaz was more employed to put balls in the boxes, where I think Slot is giving him the opportunity now to either put the ball in the box or put the ball behind the net. Simple as that. Luis Diaz has just like, he has a dribbling, but now that he kind of has like clinical finishing, there's a reason why Barcelona wanted to offer a lot of money for him. And the thing about Diaz too, his work rate is unmatched. His like the Liverpool strikers, they have an insane work rate. Oftentimes, how often in that game do you see Luis Diaz drop back? How oftentimes do you see Luis Diaz drop back and immediately start pushing forward? And at the end of that, was he tired? I don't think so. I don't think Luis Diaz was tired. But the thing about Slot that I forgot to mention too is he's employing everybody. He is taking people off the bench and putting them off, no matter how well they performed. He is putting them in. So Diaz, he has really changed the reputation around, and I don't think he's a bum. I think he is a baller now. Diaz is clinical now.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a good start, but if there are a couple things that are certain in life, it's death, taxes, and Man United leaving Luis Diaz open on the back post, just like in the last fixture that I played against Liverpool. And just like how not only were we let off by a VAR decision as a warning sign, we let Luis Diaz not once but twice just ghost in, completely unmarked. Just here you go, have all the freedom in the world to finish it. And of course, anytime it's a shot and Onana plus near post, it's going in. You don't need to think.
Oh yeah, twice. Yeah, both of Luis Diaz's goals were just like far left or far right. That first goal, that header, far left, unsavable. The second goal, Onana's positioning is questionable, but then again, the positioning of Diaz's goal is like perfect. It was perfect. Perfect. It had this out of the curl, out of the power, but at the same time, as a keeper, he's got to do a little bit better.
As well as Diaz's position inside, not inside our 18-yard box, but our 6-yard box, completely unmarked, which was wonderful. And of course, lastly, for the goal scorers, Mo Salah at this point may as well just go and use the GTA meme because he literally just owns
he owns you. Yeah,
he literally just has us on a leash and takes us out on a walk, more or less on every time we play him. Thoughts on that?
Oh, Salah, la 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 la, Mo Salah, running down the wing. That's probably all you heard from the away fan section this Sunday. And the thing about Mo Salah is he is inevitable at Old Trafford. I would even go as far to say that that's his second training ground. Mohamed Salah was just incredible this game. And I think the one thing about Salah that has changed under Arne Slot, he's becoming a little bit less selfish. Salah last season was missing a lot of chances, but still scoring a lot of goals. And, like one of his quotes he said after this game, he could have scored 5 or 6 and he was disappointed with himself, which is true. Salah did have a lot of chances that he fortunately for you, like the embarrassment wasn't as bad, but he unfortunately finished. Something about Salah's left foot and Lisandro Martinez, it's like peanut butter and jelly. You see Lisandro Martinez during the 7-0 incident, he was a blender. And this time I could just imagine he dreaded hearing his alarm for that morning. He absolutely dreaded because he knows Salah is inevitable, without a doubt.
Just like Onana's being in the wrong position again for another goal, and as per usual, this guy I just can't feel it. And honestly, I think about it now. You know what? Maybe it would have been a little more magnifying if Liverpool won 6-0, but they've done the whole league a favor by only winning 3-0 because they knew if they won like 5-6-0, they could keep that absolute bold fraud in charge for this a little longer. No, not Arne Slot. Absolute fraud in charge of my football club. Just a little.
I never asked you this, Davis. Was Ronaldo ever the problem?
He needed to go because he was on dementia as well. But at the same time, he was not wrong about the way he was treated. And it came from the same thing. Varane was saying the same thing. Cass said the same thing. Jaden said the same thing, which, all these Man United fans who wanted Sancho at my football club, he's absolutely laughing right now. And he's going to ball at Chelsea. So it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. And now after the experience so far, it's going to be another year, another season with a front three. It's going to be the Rashford, Garnacho, and Højlund when he's fit again. Front three. I can't wait. Can't wait for another.
Oh, Højlund.
Or Mason Mount in the false line, whatever he gets back.
Right.
For let's see.
You got a lot of garbage options to choose from.
Oh, plenty. Plenty. We have plenty. And whoever plays at the 6, whoever dies in the 6th position, the supporters are going to blame them and say it's their fault, even though Cass was literally dreadful. They're going to get scapegoated anyways and say that they're the issue.
Yeah.
But I'm ready for it. I'm used to it at this point. I've been getting destroyed on all my socials, right?
It sounds like you're dead inside based on the tone of your voice. So
I've been dead inside for about a year. So yeah, they've taken
only a year.
Oh yeah. So it's been for about a year. This football club's been killing me on the inside. But of course, probably the part you've been most excited for. How are the player ratings? Let's start off. In goal, Alisson.
A lot of people were saying that Alisson didn't really have to do much, but he did have that one, that one. The thing is, Alisson is so good that you expect him to make these kind of saves. That one, the one save he had, particularly against Xerxes. First off, bad on Robbo for not marking him. I get it. Robbo's not the tallest, but at the same time, he should still be jumping. It's a routine save. But Alisson, he played really well under the new Arne Slot tactic. Basically, Alisson acts like a third center back sometimes when Liverpool's pushing forward. I don't know if you noticed that. Well, he pushes up with the center backs at certain times. Sure, he drops back a little bit more, but his positioning is always just incredible. And I frankly think that this was a good learning experience for Onana. If he's not going to do anything, if he's not going to stop goals, I think Onana should sit down and take notes of what Alisson Becker has done. There's a reason why he's called AB1, best goalkeeper in the league. So Alisson, I would give Alisson, I would give Alisson a 7. He didn't have to do a lot of work, but the time he needed to do it, he did his job. And the bar is so high for him that it really kind of inflates the ratings a little bit. That's like trying to compare. If let's say Onana made that save, he would get a 10. But because it's Alisson Becker, it's something you kind of expect from the Brazilian. So I would give him a 7.
Into right back, Trent Alexander-Arnold.
I love Trent, but I was not the happiest when the goal was disallowed. I was really excited to see that Steven Gerrard kiss to the camera recreated and actually count. But at the same time, Trent under Arne Slot, he's actually he's unleashing his full potential. I think people have finally let go of the idea of putting Trent into midfield. He's a right back, without a doubt. He is a right wing back. He is phenomenal at what he does. He is extremely clinical with his passes too. I think arguably the most accurate passer. Like right back in the league, without a doubt. Like I said, I got a bias because obviously he's my right back, but I think he still put on an amazing game. And the thing about him too is that the bar is so high for him that Connor Bradley, one of Klopp's kids, also became really good under him. So switching off from Trent to Connor Bradley these past 2 games, it hasn't been too much of a difference. That shows the potential. That shows how good Trent Alexander-Arnold really is. So I would give Trent an 8. I'd give Trent an 8. His positioning was also much better. You don't really expect wing backs to get in the box to dink a goal back in the back of the net like he did. It was disallowed, but at the same time, it just showed his initiative. It just showed the new right back that Arne Slot has employed him as.
Any extra points for the shithousery at Old Trafford?
Yeah, let's I would say let's add 3 points, but I would give it a 10 out of 10, and nothing's ever a 10 out of 10. So let's give Trent 8. I think it was very good that he had to give the deaf the people who are deaf at Old Trafford a reminder of what the score was.
And also by the amount of points that are going back to Liverpool as well at the end of the day, and hopefully
it's a good number.
Hopefully it's the number of the amount of matches that have to put up with Ten Hag in charge.
It's the amount of forwards you guys need as well. You guys need 3 new forwards. Simple as that. He was giving you guys a warning.
I felt sorry for Xerxes and Ahmad, but into the center backs. So we'll start with Konate, who's definitely been made clear that he's second choice under Arne Slot, but for whatever reason, Kwanzaa is not in the team of right now. I think it's because of injury or if it's something else, I have no idea. But Konate, I'll start with him.
Ibu Konate is a scary man. A healthy Ibu Konate.
He's quite terrifying when on the ball because on the ball, he's also very, very terrifying because he's not.
He's absolutely terrifying, and the thing about him is that I feel for Xerxes. I mean, how are you supposed to ever go for a header when you're not only marked by Van Dijk, but you have a healthy Konate? Like the thing, it's like it's you're not winning an aerial battle against these two. There's a reason why the only ball that Xerxes got was against Robertson. I think Konate this season has been playing a lot better, especially I took notes in the Brentford as well as this game. Konate is marking a lot of players a lot more aggressively, and it's a thing I mentioned earlier, where if he's marking someone on the wing, Trent or Robertson just invert back. And the thing about it is like it's also something I saw too, is that if you have Konate constantly pressing you, where are you going? Where are you going? You have this terrifying, healthy center back just marking you. And I think like he won a lot of his battles. He took a lot of initiative this game. And it's like I think a healthy Konate and a healthy Van Dijk are arguably the best center back duo in the Premier League. Some will argue that it's second to a Saliba and Gabriel duel, but they are just terrifying together. And Ibu, I don't know if you've seen videos off the pitch, he is the nicest man ever. But on the pitch, he just fully changes it. He was brilliant this game. I would give him an 8. I would give Konate an 8.
The captain Van Dijk.
Oh, my sugar plum. Where do I begin with Virgil van Dijk? I think Van Dijk has made it clear that he's beat the washed allegations. And I'm just going to reiterate what I said, like the center back pairing. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And the fact that you have like the best center back in the Prem as captain as well takes a lot of initiative. It takes a lot of, it takes a lot from a player to step up and do that. And I think Van Dijk was also brilliant this game. But like I said, when you have someone of these certain calibers, it's hard to, really give them a rating because you kind of expect them to make these kind of plays. But at the same time, you also like sit back and wonder, wow, the fact that we're setting the bar so high just shows how really good this is. Like, I have this right here that like Van Dijk on top controlled the center, and at certain times the camera panned over to him, like I saw from a Liverpool like perspective. The camera like spanned over him like several times, where he would direct the midfield, like he almost looked like a composer, like telling them what to do. And it seemed like Van Dijk is never scared on the ball. He was brilliant, and I'm completely excited to see how he continues this season. Hopefully, it's not his last one. Van Dijk, in honor of his teammate, I'll give him an 8 as well.
Robertson at left back.
Andy. Also a phenomenal player. I am taking off a point or two for against Xerxes, but at the same time, Robertson's not that tall. But at the same time, even as a left back, even if you're someone short, simply actually participating in that aerial duel is completely necessary. Like throw your opponent off balance. So that was a little bit scary of him. But either way, a healthy Robertson is good to see back on the pitch. There wasn't a lot of highlights. It would have been a different story if it was against like the Brentford team, where he was fully showed his wing back potential. But I think he was pretty good this game. Nothing out of the ordinary. He still had that one error, but I mean, I think you know this, but I think like as a defender, he holds the number 2 spot for the most assists in the league of all time. And you know who's number 1? Trent. So he was phenomenal, really great, really putting those balls into Diaz, really putting those balls in that midfield, and just like overall, just helping the back line build up the play and slowly push forward and then actually do his wing back responsibilities. I'm going to give Robertson a 7.
Into the midfield, we'll start with Ryan Gravenberch, who we mentioned earlier.
I gave it a lot of thought, and I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to give him man of the match. There was a lot of strong candidates, but without a doubt, Ryan Gravenberch completely embarrassed Casemiro and Kobe Mainoo. And it was just interesting to see someone that was looking good last season just completely just become like, it was like seeing prime Busquets. It was like seeing a Dutch Busquets. Like his awareness has just increased, and as you mentioned, that's a good point. You brought up earlier that he's not born for chaotic football. He's born for something more harmonious and using Sloth's new form of Red Powerade. Using Sloth's new tactics, he fits pretty well into that 6th position, and several times throughout the game, he made like runs that a lot of players would not even take. He made a lot of runs. He had a lot of space as well. And at certain times, he would switch from that CDM position to just like a CAM and truly pick out what he wanted. And he looked really, really composed. At no point did I say Gravenberch does not look good. If anything, that midfield was trembling. Gravenberch was trembling. So RG for me is going to get a 9. Going to get a 9.
And guess who was a former manager of Ryan Gravenberch?
Somewhere along the lines of another Dutch player, another Dutch individual. It's
absolute bold fraud.
It's really sad to see
players.
That bald fraud really spent several millions of dollars to rebuild his Ajax fantasy team, and it looks like he took the wrong Dutch players. If anything, Liverpool has a better Dutch players, and I mean, come on, Ryan Gravenberch was absolutely brilliant.
Next to him, Alexis McAllister.
I love this man. I love McAllister. Not because of his ability to pass, not because of his ability to shoot, but because of the initiative McAllister takes, whether it's defensively or offensively. McAllister is always ready to receive the ball. And the thing about McAllister is he's so unpredictable. He's so talented with passing the ball that you don't know if he's going to pass it back or just set up a random cross to Diaz. And he's also extremely strong. Like as you saw, he bullied the shit out of Casemiro. And I'm pretty sure he bullied another one of your players where he just shoulder checked him and the guy went straight to the ground. And that immediately caused the play to turn over. And then just like that, he's so talented with the ball at his foot. You can either pass it or drive it or just simply shoot it. He's phenomenal. And I think under this new Arne Slot system where he's playing as a holding midfielder and then all of a sudden be able to press forward and just switch, it's amazing. McAllister, I'm pretty sure, has been my favorite signing within the past 3 to 4 years. He's been my absolute favorite. He's been a gem. He was a steal from Brighton, so Brighton has it out for us. So McAllister, very good, very composed, and just very creative with the ball. Scary, scary man. I'm going to give Alexis McAllister an 8.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Into the advanced trio, into the attacking trio, there was what, a 4-2-3-1. I'll start with. We'll start with Dominic Szoboszlai in the number 10, who prior, I guess, to the season, I kind of saw it as a bit of a scrub. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and
doing up Conor Gallagher rules, just running around, not doing anything. But this season, he looked a bit different. Definitely looked decent in preseason. He's looked all right. But Dominic Szoboszlai, we'll move to him.
Szoboszlai. I agree with that notion. The first 5 games of last season, he looked incredibly strong, but he kind of had that downfall. And I don't know what it was.
Gerrard.
Yeah, that's what I really didn't like people calling him the new Gerrard. It's he scores one screamer and suddenly they're comparing him to the best Liverpool player of all time. That's one thing, and then I'm pretty sure that got to his head, and then he just kind of fell off. But under this new Arne Slot tactic, putting him offensively, crazy, but beautiful. Like I said, crazy football, aggressive football, but harmonious, composed. And I think Szoboszlai fits in that perfectly because I'm pretty sure he's top 5, top 6 fastest players in the league. So he has the speed going for him. And apart from that, his ability to shoot and pass the ball whenever and make these dummy runs. I don't know if you noticed this, but several times Szoboszlai was making a run to leave in order to leave Jota or Diaz unmarked. And it clearly worked several times. Having Szoboszlai with his speed and his agility and his also and his stamina as well. Be able to make these dummy runs in order to get Lisandro Martinez or someone else out of that position. He's running around. He's still running around, but he's doing it tactically. At the same time, one thing I would like about Szoboszlai as well is for him to get his confidence back and start shooting the balls. It seems like he still doesn't have that confidence of, after being called the new Gerrard, to actually start shooting the balls. So I wouldn't say Szoboszlai is completely back. I wouldn't say that he's still on the same mindset or positioning of last season. I'm excited to see how Arne Slot continues to play him, see if he shifts him around more. But he had a great performance as well. And he's a very handsome man as well. So I'm going to give him a point for that. I'm going to give Szoboszlai a 7.
You're on about saying that Szoboszlai and seeing if seeing how much I noticed that he was trying new things. against this Man United side, you could try anything. You could bus goal kick your
It's a new
pass
playground.
away from your own goal line to ours, and you'll probably score. So you know what? You could try probably 90% of things, and it will probably be successful at the end of the day. I don't think it'll matter. We'll start with the Mr. Anti-Man United himself. Mr. Old Trafford himself. No, unfortunately, it is Mo Salah on the Liverpool side of things. But Mo Salah. We'll start with him.
Mo Trafford, an absolute gem of a player, the Egyptian king. There is you build these reputations among these stadiums for a reason, and I think this one is the most apparent one. Because I'm pretty sure this is his this is the 6th or 7th consecutive time scoring at Old Trafford. Mm-hmm. I think it might be even higher than that. I don't know what it is. I don't know if Salah's boots just really like the Old Trafford grass. I just don't know what it is. But Salah, especially this game, he was clinical. He was unselfish. Like it sounds ironic to say that because he took several shots. But the reason why he took those shots to begin with is, if as they say, if Man U gives you space, use that space. But overall, Salah this game, he was just extremely aware, and his passes were beautiful. That first assist I get to Diaz was just an absolute gem. Straight header, simple football, put it in the box. But at the same time, Salah, he was also good this game because with the new Arne Slot tactics, he's having Salah drop all the way back in order to press from the back because he wants that build up from the back. And Salah, being fast as hell and clinical, he didn't even question why should I be doing this? I should be making runs. That's what Klopp made me do. But it seems that Salah, even on the back, you still have an extra man. You still have an extra man to cover someone else. And Mo Salah, the thing about him is, since he's incredibly so fast, so hard to mark this game, that to the point where you have to have 2 people marking him, especially this game, which just opens up a lot more fields and a lot more options. So even when Salah doesn't have the ball at his feet, this last game, people were still marking him because they know how dangerous he was. And he not only is he dangerous, but he demonstrated how dangerous he is, scoring yet again, at Old Trafford. Salah, amazing. Definitely my man of the match contender. The fact that we have man of the match contenders, Davis, just shows the caliber of Liverpool. So Mo Salah, I'm going to give him a 9.
I mean, sure, the caliber of players can say is one thing, but I'd say, that the caliber between the managers and the coaching side of things is probably where the gap is clear night and day. On the left-hand side, Luis Diaz, your guy.
Lucho. We talked about him earlier. I think you and I shared that sentiment that he, in your words, that bum Diaz. He's kind of really turned it around. And I think you and I reiterated that.
3 games.
Yeah, it's 3 games, but I don't know, Davis. But have you noticed this pattern where sometimes when players, bleach their hair or dye it silver, they're either hit or miss? I think Diaz is more on the hit side this time. He was just absolutely brilliant this game. Actually having the confidence to go in the box. Well, first off, you're letting him go in the box, and second off, the fact that he's finishing in these situations. That first goal between him and Salah and Szoboszlai, which is absolutely beautiful.
In the world on that.
Yeah, I mean, first off, the awareness of Szoboszlai to duck his head last minute because Diaz had it, and then Diaz just nothing short of clinical. Just put it right in, just put it in the top left. Just simple football. But that second goal, I almost feel bad giving praise to Diaz because no other team would just leave a left wing, would just leave a winger unmarked in the box by any means. So to see him there, and that's first off, that's also not an easy shot as well. That is not an easy shot to obviously turn and then slot it bottom right. He has been phenomenal, and sure, you could say it's been 3 games, but every game he has shown his talent. But like I said, I'm a little bit scared to see how Diaz matches up against bigger clubs. So Luis Diaz, I'm gonna give him a 9. I'm gonna give Diaz.
And up front, Diogo Jota, playing up front.
Jota. The thing about Jota is, although he did not have a goal, that's what he's known for, his clinical finishing. Jota played a major role in Liverpool's counterattack. I took a lot of notes of what he did, and first off, that first goal that Diaz scored, it was brilliant and composed, arguably by Diogo Jota, because the moment Gravenberch drove with the ball, passed it to Salah, Jota first off, Jota looked at Gravenberch, did this, and that caused a play. That caused Gravenberch to pass it to Salah, which led to Salah passing the ball straight to Diaz. So even though he doesn't have the ball, Jota has that awareness to know what is right. And he saw the green space on the left side. So for him to compose that play by simply doing that shows awareness and agility. And apart from that, like I said, there weren't a lot of highlights with him with the ball at his feet, but we both know the capabilities of Diogo Jota. Not even arguably the best finisher on Liverpool, without a doubt. Sure, he did not get to show that much here at this game, but consider yourself lucky that you didn't get to see that side of Jota, at least this time around. Diogo Jota, always a phenomenal player. Never really have any critiques of him. Didn't put on a show this time, but like I said, I'm still really impressed by his ability to look at Gravenberch, have the confidence to do that, and that basically started this entire symphony. I'm going to give Jota an 8. Simple as that.
And lastly, the manager, Arne Slot.
10. I'm telling you right now, I am giving that bald man, the real bald Dutch manager, I am giving him a 10. The thing is, when you have a manager like Klopp leave, you set a standard. You set expectations for your team. And Arne Slot coming from Feyenoord, it's a completely different ballgame. The only thing they showed in common was sharing attacking, pressing football. But seeing Arne Slot and seeing what he's done with the team, seeing what caters to everybody, because I don't know if you noticed it, but these players seem happy when they're playing. Like, these players are actually doing what they want to do, playing like actually demonstrating their talent in a phenomenal way. And Arne Slot is also he's just overall a tactical person because he knows what he's doing. Sure. Jota was having a great game. Sure, Diaz was having a great game. Sure, Trent was having a phenomenal game. He still subbed them out. Like in the 70th, 80th minute in order to give his other players like this playing time. He's tactical. He knows the players on the bench want to play. He knows they need to play. He doesn't want their feet to go dry, and he's very tactical about switching up these players and like each giving them their liberty. And this exact tactic that he did of really closing down that midfield and making it narrow, it was just nothing short of brilliant, because several times he had that overload on the Man U midfield where they didn't know what the hell to go. Like they don't know what to do, they don't know where to go, they don't know when to do it, or they don't know how is this happening. None of that. These were all questions that were left unanswered throughout the entire game. And Arne Slot punished Man United for that. He closed down the midfield. He made he closed down the midfield. He had his wingers do their job, and he had the defense completely close down everything else. It's like the new Liverpool, the new slow build-up, possession-based football by Arne Slot is going to feed Liverpool fans this season. And unfortunately, Man United was a playground, was basically like a trial run, a guinea pig even for Arne Slot. And I'm very excited to see what he has in store for Liverpool FC this season. 10 out of 10.
And there you have it. Just like the preseason encounter, and just like hopefully the amount of games left to have to see Ten Hag manage my football club. Liverpool 3, Man United 0. And we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching our upload, and let us know down in the comments below, what are your thoughts on anything and everything addressed in this feature of Premier League Prime Time. Smash a like on the video, and make sure you subscribe to our channel. And be sure to check out our other platforms on Instagram, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And we hope you have an absolutely fantastic day/evening. Take care.